Hello and welcome to training mode. If you are currently watching this video, congratulations. You're already doing better than most people I know. A lot of options. So we will be going over every single one of these sections in order and what exactly are your options and what you can do. Probably minus audio because I don't think you guys need me to explain what audio is. Let us start with the home one, the very top bar where we got move list, which is your champion's moves, and all the way to the enemy champions as well. All settings to default means doesn't matter what you have in every single one of these sections, it'll all go to the default by pressing this button. Capture save state. This is a very, very unique training option and one that is going to save you a lot of time. Let's take Ari for instance. Let's say you really want to practice your Oki, right? But you don't want to have to do S2, S2 of every single time you want to do it. So you do S2, S2 down S1, set it up, and then boom, now you have to do it again, right? If you're trying to anti-air someone, every time you want to do the anti-air, they gotta jump, you got 2H, then you do the combo, then you reset, and then you gotta move forward, wait for him to jump, do it again, reset, do it again, etc, etc, etc. What capture save state does is it captures the moment you activate it. If you do S2, S2, right in the middle of your button, you pause and click on capture save state, and then restore save state. It'll go back to the moment that you captured, and by just clicking reset, you go straight back to that S2. So if you want to set up the Oki, all you have to do then is say reset, and then you get to do it again. And you can basically skip everything. Same thing with finishers. If you want to try and practice the Akali double jump, but you don't want to do the entire combo, do S2, set capture states, restore capture state, go for it. I messed it up. Reset, do it again. Got that time. Reset. Do it again, and then rinse and repeat. And the way you get out of it, because if you constantly keep pressing it, you keep getting back to it, is you just press any direction plus reset, and you are back to normal. But the save state is still saved though. So if you want to go back to it again, just click on restore save state, and we're back to it once more. Next up, round reset. If you don't want to memorize every single option on the right, what buttons you need to press in order to get to every single position, you can just manually press any single one of these options. If I want to go left and I'm attacking, then I just hover over that, press A, and it'll go to that. Same thing with left defending. This with a swap neutral state, etc, etc, etc. You can either look at and memorize or just randomly press reset, press one of these buttons, and you'll eventually get the right thing. Controls is how you're going to map your controls. And then return the stamp select is self-explanatory. Now we get into a lot more stuff. So it basically involves game state stuff. So counter hit settings is you'll either randomly get counter hits, trying to practice 2H, trying to recognize whether or not you're able to stay on the ground. Then you can set it up in order to randomly 2H. Health refill basically means if you want to test out whether or not you can 2-touch, to set it to no autofill and let it rip, or you don't want to test that, and you just don't want to deal with the character dying over and over again, you can leave it on autofill in order to make sure that the champion will never die. And then if you want a specific health bar, then you can change any of them from your main character to backup character, same thing with the enemies, from anywhere from 100 all the way down to 0. And if you want to just have a character die, you have to make sure to set health refill to no auto refill, set the HP to 0, then you have one character until you either set it back to auto refill, in which case on reset, your character will have 1 HP, or you're bringing them back up to full. Super meter settings. You can either have 3 bars maximum at all times, you could have it at 3 bars, but when you use a super, it'll go down, but then once it's over, it'll go back up. Or you can set it to normal, where once you spend it, it is gone until you rebuild it up once more. And if you want specifically to start with a certain amount, anywhere from 0 and going up by halves, then you can manually set it like that. If you want to have absolutely no cooldown on assists, then you can turn assist cooldown on and off. Break meter, same thing as super. Either autofill it up to full. You can have it to where it'll never run out, or you can just have it act as normal. And if you want to set it to a specific amount, you want infinite fury, then set it to infinite. If you want it to be normal, leave it at normal. And game speed. If you really want to try and react to rolls, or you want to get used to things, but the game moves a little too quick, you can control it. You can move it down to either 75%, 50%, or 25%. So especially if you want to practice a situation, trying to see whether or not the opponent is rolling. 25% is really slow. But you can then use this to see, does he roll? He does. And you can dash forward and throw. You can move it up to 50% and do the exact same thing. Does he roll? He did not. Move up to 75%. He didn't roll. And all the way up to regular speed. And you can do that for basically everything. And then round call means every time you press reset, if you turn it on, you will get the ready, go. If you want to practice timing, doing something on round start, that would be how you do it. Bots, kind of self-explanatory in itself. It is what the opponent is doing. You can set the bot to either one of two things through controls, either just as a training bot where it will just sit there and let you beat it up, or you can set it to CPU where it will actually start attacking you, anywhere from levels 1 all the way up to 8. Bot position, either standing, crouching, or jumping. So the next one is block settings. Either never blocks. One over is after first hit, means that once you hit them for the first time, the next time you do something in a string or in a combo that doesn't hit or doesn't true string, then they will block it. First hit only means that they will block everything. But once again, if it doesn't true string, they will get hit by it. So we want to practice whether or not this is a true string compared to this being a true string. You will test whether or not it is based on whether or not they block it all. Always is they will always block no matter what you do. And random is random. You don't know? I don't know. It's a good way to practice hit confirms. Now block level. Block level basically means that they will only block these specific hits. I can set the block to always. If block level is low, I can hit them high, but I can't hit them low. Same thing for high. If I try and hit them high, then they will block high. But if I try and hit them low, then I can hit them low. So guard actions, you can set them to either push block, retreating guard, or once again, random. Good way to practice block strings as well as follow-ups on push block. And for either one of these options or random, you have guard action frame and guard action on consecutive hit. So you can set them to do a specific option after a certain amount of hits. So if I set them to push block after 1 hit, they will do it after 1 hit. If I set them to do it after 2, then they'll wait till the second consecutive hits, and then they will do it. But if I do jab, pause, jab, they won't do it. Only on consecutive hits that they'll do it. And they can do it, and you can set that up all the way up to hitting 10 times. Same thing with guard action frame. You can set it up to where they will do an action on the 20th frame. Doesn't exactly work on all hits. So if you're trying to test what happens on late presses, or trying to time things for people that don't match specific options on the literal first frame possible, you can do it anywhere from frames 1 through 20. Now air tech options and ground tech options, basically you can either back roll, forward roll. You can either have them not tech at all, tech and where they will fall straight down, tech back, tech forward, and as for both, random. So if you're trying to get them with the reset, trying to test Oki options for wake up options, you can set them either to random, or if you really want to test for a specific option, you can set it to that as well. And same thing with get up attack. You can either make them do a get up attack every single time, or completely random. Random is a good option to have. So that's why just about all of these options will have it set to random, except for throw escape. This one's kind of weird. I don't understand why this one is random. Break, same thing as guard action. You can set it to be random or enabled, and when you enable it, you can do however many hits and on what frame. Anywhere from 1 frame all the way up to frame 60. And that's it for the bot section. Display. There's a lot of display settings, and some of these are a little complicated. Hitbox display. You press the button, and you'll see exactly where you will be able to hit them. Hitbox display, where they can hit you. An advanced hitbox display, whether your move is air invulnerable, ground invulnerable, projectile invul. Advanced will show you those options as well. Collision. Basically, this box is how big your character is. Even though I'm basically standing on top of him, not touching him, until the boxes combine, and then I'm pushing him. Data display. Very important one, and one I'd recommend being on at all times. This will show your attack level, which is basically low, mid, high. So your total damage in a combo, as well as the amount of damage that move did. So 119 total damage, 49 damage on the heavy. The amount of hits, how much their damage is being scaled at that time. The highest damaging combo you have. For your hit stun, scaling starts at, as well as your frame data. Total amount of frames, as well as when the move first comes out, along with how plus or minus you are. And then lastly, the amount of meter you gain at the bottom of the screen. Frame meter, also known as Jesus Christ. But basically, it's a very long bar to show you exactly how plus you are, how minus you are when you use air invul moves, when your assist becomes active, as well as when they leave. Basically, it's a way to go incredibly in depth on literally everything from movement to multi-hitting attacks, what moves are invul, what moves are not invul, charge moves, controller input display. A controller input display is you just have a little indicator of everything you do. Then the alternate 1 and 2 is just where they are on screen. 1 is a bit lower, and 2 is further to the outside. Input history is basically everything you're pressing is on the left, as well as how many frames you are currently holding it. Button display type can change whether you're doing 2 SKO buttons, so light, medium, heavy, tag, etc., or whatever system you're on. I'm on PC, so it's showing me Xbox buttons, so I'm getting X, Y, B, and A accordingly. Input hint display appears at the bottom of the screen. Basically, it's, hey, do you know exactly what buttons you need to press in order to start a replay? What button you need to press for reset, what button you need to press for settings. That little tip bar at the bottom will tell you exactly which ones you need to press. And then lastly is the pin commands display. Hey, I don't remember which super is which. And then you see on the bottom of the screen, pin to HUD 0 out of 5. You're able to choose any option from any of these sections. You press Y on that. You go back to the game, and on the left it shows you perfect execution and which button it is. All right, recording. Well, if you want to set up multiple different recordings, you have to click on one of these. Press A on the recording, it'll begin recording. And in controls, toggle recording and toggle playback. So by going to recording and clicking on that, you're recording. You can do whatever you want. By toggling recording, you turn it off. And you can do the same thing with slot 2. Click on that. And then you can set it up to start playback, either through looping, where it'll happen over and over again, or by doing one shots, where it'll do the one thing and then it'll stop. And to clear it, you just press X. If you don't want to clear it, but you just want to turn it off, then you can press Y. So reversals basically means that you either after wake up, after block, or after hit, you can have them do up to 1 of 5 different moves. So you can have them do wake up button, wake up command button, wake up crouching button, wake up specials, wake up supers, wake up jumps. Everything you want pretty much here. Wake up throw, wake up everything. In case you're missing literally anything, either on wake up, block, hit, anything. You can also make them do wake up whatever you have set on the 5 recordings. And if you set one to light, to the next one to medium, and next one to heavy, then on knockdown, when he wakes up, he will automatically do one of those 3 things. Champions. So champions basically is for specifically champions that have like extra things attached to them. So in the case of Akali Smoke, if you want smoke to start round starts, then you can do that. So reset and immediate smoke. If you want Blitz to have infinite steam, He now has infinite steam. So every champion that has something like this are going to be here in the champ section. Quick select. If you don't want to exit training mode, re-click on training mode. Just in order to change your champions or change your fuse, this is how you do it. You're going to save so much time in the process. Your point champion, your assist champion, every option is here. You can go ahead and so you can change it that way. So if I want to play Ari Echo instead, I can just change it that way. Or if I really want to test against Teemo, I just change them to Teemo. If I want to change the fuse, I do it this way. And make sure you click on apply, because if you just go back, nothing's going to happen. But if you click on apply, it'll reset. And now we have Echo and Teemo. That is all the training options besides going to casual lobby and going to ranked lobby straight out of it. One last thing that I do want to go over is on the main menu. By going to your replays, what's new in this patch is you're able to by pausing, you have an option called takeover. So by pressing takeover, means that you are now able to play as if you were back in that same situation. And then by pressing it again, you remove the takeover. So if you really want to test your different options, like I just got hit and I just got knocked down, what are my options against this Akali's Oki? If I want to test wake up options, I want to test wake up attack. See if that works. I can do that. If I want to test forward roll, I can see how that works, and same thing with back roll or just neutral get up. Anti-air combos, Oki options, fighting against specific pressure tools, mix-ups. You can test out all these things through replays and the use of the takeover function. Hope you guys learned something new. The training mode in this game is absolutely fantastic. There is no excuse to not use the training mode in this game. So until next time, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.